जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय विश्वपाद परम सपरिचकाचार्य श्रोत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस कैसे भक्ति प्रधान स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय विष्णुपाद परम सपरिचकाचार्य श्रोत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत से ठाकुर श्री प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की मायापुर नवदीप धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की कलिग पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की नेताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3rd, chapter 1st, questions by Vidura, text 20th. Itham vrajan bharatam eva varsham kalena yavat gatavan prabhasam tavat shashasha kshitim ekachakram ekatapatram ajitena partha Itham vrajan bharatam eva varsham kalena yavat gatavan prabhasam tavat shashasha chitim ekachakram ekatapatram ajitena partha Itham vrajan bharatam eva varsham kalena yavat gatavan prabhasam tavat shashasha kshitim ekachakram ekatapatram ajitena partha
Itham vrajan bharatam eva varsham kalena yavat gatavan prabhasam tavat shasasa chitimekachakram ekatapatram ajitena partha
Itham vrajan bharatam eva varsham kalena yavat gatavan prabhasam tavat shasasa chitimekachakram ekatapatram ajitena partha
Mataji.
Itham vrajan bharatam eva varsham kalena yavat gatavan prabhasam tavat shasasa chitimekachakram ekatapatram ajitena partha.
Word by word meaning. Itham, like this. Vrajan, while traveling. Bharatam, India. Eva, only. Varsham, the tract of land. Kalena, in due course of time. Yavat, when. Gatavan, visited. Prabhasam, the Prabhas pilgrimage site. Tavat, at that time. Shashasha, rule. Kshitim, the world. Ekachakram, by one military force. Eka, one. Atapatram, flag. Ajitena, by the mercy of the conquerable Krishna. the unconquerable Krishna, Partha Maharaj Yudhishthir. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Thus, when he was in the land of Bharatavarsha, traveling to all the places of pilgrimage, he visited Prabhasa Kshetra. At that time, Maharaj Yudhishthir was the emperor and held the world under one military strength and one flag. Purport. More than 5,000 years ago, while Saint Vidura was traveling the earth as a pilgrim, India was known as Bharatavarsha, as it is known even today. The history of the world cannot give any systematic account for more than 3,000 years into the past. But before that, the whole world was under the flag and military strength of Maharaj Yudhishthir, who was the emperor of the world. At present, there are hundreds and thousands of flags flapping in the United Nations. But during the time of Vidura, there was, by the grace of Ajita, Lord Krishna, only one flag. The nations of the world are very eager to again have one state under one flag. But for this they must seek the favor of Lord Krishna, who alone can help us become one worldwide nation. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shanyavadhi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratushe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarobhescha Kripa Sindho Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So welcome everyone for today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. Hare. So we are reading here from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3rd, Chapter 1st, Questions by Vidura, Text 20. So in this verse we can see that Vidura. How many of you know Vidura? Very few. Okay. Sound system. Hare Krishna. Is it audible? Huh? Okay. So, how many of you know Vidura? Okay, few. Dhritarashtra? Dhritarashtra everyone knows. No, not many. Still many don't know Dhritarashtra. Okay. So, here the storyline is Vidura. Vidura was brother of Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra, who was Dhritarashtra? Whose son was he? Huh? Vichitravirya? Vichitravirya? Huh? Yes? Any other answer? Huh? Vyasdev. Vyasdev. He was also called as Vichitravirya because his other mother's husband was Vichitravirya. So, Vyasdev, he was specially invited for continuing the Kuru dynasty. Kuru dynasty, there was a great kind of calamity, right? Who would be the next heir, or who will rule the kingdom after, because Bhishma had taken a vow. Okay, what vow he had taken? He'll be celibate throughout his life. He will not marry. Right? Bhishma Pratigna. Therefore it is said as Bhishma Pratigna. He was very powerful. And why he took that vow? For whom? His father, Shantanu. Okay. So for his father, he took that vow that he will not marry throughout his life, and whoever would be the son from his other wife, he will rule the kingdom. Satyavati's son, right? Satyavati was another wife of Shantanu. And I think she had Vichitravirya and Chitrangat, something. Both of them, they died. And there was no kind of Vamshaj, who would continue the kingdom. So at that time, Satyavati, she called Vyasdev, who was her another son. Satyavati's son was Vyasdev. And who was the father? Parashara Muni. Parashara Muni is also another great sage. We cannot imagine how powerful he was. We will try to see that connection also, how Parashar is connected. So, his son, Vyasdev, was called, and Dhritarashtra was conceived from Ambika. From Ambalika, Pandu was conceived. But still Satyavati was not happy. She was thinking that one son is blind. Eldest son is blind, he cannot be the king. There was some defect. King has to be a perfect king. And therefore he was disqualified. Pandu was supposed to become the king. And he also got curse. And although his sons, Pandavas, they were the rightful heir, they were supposed to rule the kingdom. But when they came, Kunti, he had gone to forest for the life of ascetics. because he was also cursed that he will die. So Kunti and Madri, they were the two wives of Pandu, and they had 5 children. And sages in the forest, they told that you should go back to Hastinapur, because you will get shelter there and your children will be taken care. So they had come back to the kingdom. And Vidura was the son of another maid. Ambika, when she was asked to again conceive the child, she did not go. She sent her maid servant. And Vyasdeva knew this, that some kind of cheating has happened here. But he accepted that. He said that it is okay, fine. And just by touching that maid servant, Vidura was conceived. And he told that he'll be extremely intelligent person. He'll be extremely wise person. But he was also disqualified to become the king, because he was the son of a maid servant. And Pandu's sons were supposed to become the king, but they were young. They were not ready yet. So at that time, Dhritarashtra had decided that okay, by the time they become grown up, I'll become the king. He accepted that kind of position and responsibility. And he was very powerful actually. Although he was blind, he was a great administrator. He was a great king. He was physically also very, very powerful. Lot of strength he had. When Duryodhana was born, he received 100 sons from Gandhari. And when Duryodhana was born, that time there were bad omens. That the disturbance in the nature was observed. The animals were, the lower kind of animals, they were showing different kinds of symptoms. So Vidura understood that this son, Duryodhana, the first son, he is not the right person. He's having some kind of demonic qualities. Vidura could understand at that very moment when Duryodhana was born. And he told Dhritarashtra that you just give up this son. Discard this son. Because he will be the cause of your destruction. If you maintain him, he will disturb everyone. So therefore, just give up that attachment. But Dhritarashtra, what happened? He was attached to his son. No father would like to give up his son, right? He was naturally attached. That my son, how can I give up? Some kind of sentimental attachments he had. And he thought that maybe when he starts growing up, he will become a good person. But it was not happening. As he was growing, all the bad qualities within him were also growing more and more. And what was another reason for his bad qualities to grow? Shakuni. Was he in good association? Satsang, he was doing everyday satsang. He was doing asatsang. He was taking shelter of his maternal uncle Shakuni and Karna and many other people who were giving him bad advice continuously. How to do conspiracy, how to trouble Pandavas. And they did so many plans to kill Pandavas, right? But Pandavas, they didn't die because they were divine people. They were not ordinary people. They were the sons of demigods. Can you please switch off the mobiles, everyone? So, Pandavas, they were understanding that there are conspiracies happening, and it was happening all in palace, Hastinapur. And Vidura, he knew everything. He used to get all the kind of vibes. He could understand who is planning what. And he was protecting Pandavas and their mother Kunti. And he was trying to advise Dhritarashtra also, that please give up your attachment. Please give the kingdom to the Pandavas. It is their kingdom. They are the rightful heir. Now they are grown up. So Yudhishthir Maharaj should get coronated and he should become the king. Because he has all good qualities. He could understand, Vidura could understand who has good qualities and who is having bad qualities. And he was focused on that. He was not kind of siding Pandavas just because he was attached to them. He saw that there are really good qualities. They are the right people. And good qualities, those who are following the principles of Dharma, they should rule the kingdom. Not the people who are having vices or bad qualities and demonic qualities kind of things. They are not the right people. And he could discriminate between that. He could understand that this is a defect. That Dhritarashtra as a person may be good. He may be doing very good activities. But when it came to do the administration, or when it came to decide who will be the right person to rule, at that time he was becoming weak. He was attached to his children. He was thinking that let them become the king. I could not become the king. I am the eldest person. I should be the king. But if I am not becoming the king, let my son become the king. Jai Shri Shri Radha Gopinath ki jai. So he could not see that Duryodhana is doing so many bad things. And therefore Srila Prabhupada he mentions that Dhritarashtra was not just physically blind, or by birth he was blind, but he was blind spiritually also. Spiritual blindness means, again, going to the bad side of the person. That is favoring the bad side of the person. That is spiritual blindness. That one doesn't see that this person has a good qualities and he is a qualified person. He should become the king or the leader. One thinks that he is my person. That is the Dhritarashtra tendency, that my people should become the leaders or the administrators or the kings. Whether they have good qualities or not, whether they have training or not, that doesn't matter. They are my people. And therefore, Bhagavad Gita begins with Dhritarashtra Vacha. What is the shloka? Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yutsava Mamakaha Pandavasheva Kim Kurvata Sanjaya. So Dhritarashtra's inquiry at the very beginning of Bhagavad Gita shows that how he was concerned. And he's saying, Mamaka, they are my children. And Pandavascheva, they are sons of Pandava, they are not my children. He could have said that they are all my children, 105. But even making inquiry, he's saying, no, they are my children and they are Pandava's children. Discrimination, right from beginning of Bhagavad Gita, right? And we can see that why this kind of tendency was there, because fundamentally it is a bodily conception of life. My, I or mine, they are my children. Only that much he was able to see. He was not able to extend his vision that they are also my relatives, they are also my children. And what all of them they are doing, he was not asking that. So that shows that how he was even spiritually blind. He was not accepting them as his own children. And that Srila Prabhupada mentioned that's how he was spiritually blind. And that continued actually. And Vidura, he tried to give advice to raise his consciousness. He wanted Dhritarashtra to see from the higher perspective, not to just limit his vision, just thinking that only my small family, or these are my small community, or small nation. Srila Prabhupada here is explaining that how the world can become one united nation if Krishna is put in the center. So that is the broad thinking. A Krishna conscious person, or one who has developed his consciousness, he or she will think that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the entire world is my family. I am responsible for everyone. Each and every human being, each and every animal, each and every bird or beast or aquatics or trees or mountains or rivers, because that is all one family, not just only human beings and killing animals, but even the life is there in other species also. So they also need to be protected. So therefore, person who has developed his consciousness, he will try to see, or she will try to see everyone equally. Everyone is equal from the spiritual perspective, because they are all parts and parcels of Lord Krishna, who is our Supreme Father. We are all his children. So a person who has elevated his consciousness, he would like to see in that way. He would practice in that way. And earlier, the kings or the rulers or the leaders of the nation or a country were supposed to have this kind of disposition or this kind of vision. And in that consciousness, when they rule, then there is proper law and order. There is a proper justice to everyone, and everyone can be happy. And here Srila Prabhupada is explaining that 5,000 years before Kali Yuga started, at the end of Dwapar Yuga, this is the story of end of Dwapar Yuga, Maharaj Yudhishthir was ruling the entire world, there was only one flag of Maharaj Yudhishthira. There were not too many flags. In United Nations now there are many flags. Is it still not audible behind? Is it audible? Everyone is able to hear? So, that is the ideal kingdom or the monarchy or the leadership. When the leader is Krishna conscious, then monarchy is good. Srila Prabhupada explains at another point. If the leader is Krishna conscious, pure devotee, then monarchy is good. But if the leader is not Krishna conscious, then monarchy develops into kind of dictatorship. Because there is no kind of ethical principles or the morality or the standard principles by which a king is following. If that system is not there, then I make my own law, which is not given by God. Whether it is good for the people or not, the leader is not worried about that. He will just think from the material perspective or his own selfish interest. So therefore, the basic principles by which the society is kept proper, people are happy, it is by following the moral principles, morality, niti, which keep the society together. If there are no principles, there are no standard principles, ethical principles in the society, then there can be discrimination between two different classes of people, and there will be always division. So therefore, there has to be some uniformity at the top level, some thinking, a proper thinking, proper standard principles, which are not given by any ordinary human being, but they are given by the Supreme Personality of God. Because that is how earlier, before Parikshit Maharaj, all the kings were maintaining those principles. And because of that, Kurukshetra war happened. It was a religious war. It was Dharma war. War for establishing proper religion. If there is no proper dharma in the society, then there will be fights. And therefore, there has to be proper religion, proper dharma. Srila Prabhupada, whenever the word dharma comes, dharma is in today's time is understood to be external religion. I am born in a particular religion or particular community. I have this dharma. Srila Prabhupada explains that living entity has eternal dharma. And what is the eternal dharma of the living entity? To serve. To serve Krishna. Living entity is eternal. Okay. Living entity is Jivatma. We are all eternal souls. We are not just material bodies, which will ultimately perish. It will go through so many transformations and then it will perish. But the soul does not die. And what is the duty of the soul? Is to serve the Supreme Lord. The Lord is eternal Okay, the Lord is eternal, the living entity is eternal, and his connection between the living entity and the Lord, that is also eternal. Bhakta, Bhagwan and Bhakti. These are the three principles which are always eternal. And therefore, when somebody functions in that consciousness, then they are rightly situated. Then they will become really happy. So Srila Prabhupada, whenever it came to Sanatana Dharma, he introduced Bhagavad Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma, which is teachings of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Can you please maintain silence? Hare Krishna. Please maintain silence. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, Sanatana Dharma or the eternal religion is the... anybody wants to sit up also, please. Those who are aged, those who cannot sit down for a long time, please, there are many empty seats. So, Sanatana Dharma. And Vidura's thought process was that he wanted Dhritarashtra to understand this Sanatana Dharma, or to understand the principles by which he can elevate his consciousness. And therefore, every time he was called by Dhritarashtra, he would give good advice, good moral advice. And he would tell Dhritarashtra what is good in this situation. And when he was called, almost when there was no kind of peace negotiations were happening, and both Kauravas and Pandavas were going to fight, that time when Vidura was called, he gave a lot of instructions, which is very famous as Vidur Niti. Dhritarashtra called Vidura in the middle of the night because he was not able to sleep. He was quite anxious. What is the message that Yudhishthira has given, and what will be relayed next day? Next day in the assembly, Sanjaya was going to relay that message of Yudhishthira. And he didn't know. There was no clarity. And Dhritarashtra had told Yudhishthira that they had gone to forest for penances and all. After completing that, they had returned. And Dhritarashtra was telling them that you should continue performing austerities and you should not fight. That was the message Dhritarashtra had given to Yudhishthira. It was communicated, but what the reply message was there, he didn't know. And what is that message, which Sanjaya didn't tell him clearly? Just thinking that Dhritarashtra was anxious. He was having tremendous anxiety. He was thinking from various angles and he was not able to conclude what could be that message. And because of that, he was sleepless. He was not able to sleep. Does it happen to us? We sometimes have so many anxieties, but still we sleep after some time, right? Right. But he was so much anxious that he was not able to sleep. And he understood that only one person who can give the reasons for my sleeplessness is Vidura. Vidura was also his minister. He had appointed him as minister. He was respecting him a lot. And Vidura comes there in the middle of the night. Can you imagine? Sometimes you are called at a difficult times when you are resting. You may tell that I will come afterwards, I want to rest and all. So many excuses we may give. But Vidura goes at that time also. Very loyal, very faithful, very committed to his service. Very straightforward. And he goes and he tries to explain. Again he takes that an opportunity to give good instructions to Dhritarashtra. He keeps telling that how you had to hand over kingdom to Pandavas because they are the right people. It is their kingdom. You should coronate Yudhishthir Maharaj. There are 8 chapters which is called as Prajagar Parva in Mahabharat, Udyog Parva, part of Udyog Parva. From various angles, Vidura tries to explain that how you have to follow the path of righteousness. This is right, this is wrong. He tries to give so many ways, he tries to explain him. Vidurniti, Bhagavad Gita and Bhishma's instructions before leaving this material world. They are the 3 teachings of Mahabharata which are very, very important parts of Mahabharata, which one should try to study. So he gives all these instructions. But still after hearing that, Dhritarashtra, he could not change his mind. He tells that, okay, I understand everything, but still I think Duryodhana should become the king. That was the final decision of Dhritarashtra. He was not able to give up the attachment of Duryodhana. So he becomes disappointed and he goes. He understands that now I cannot. I tried my best to change the mind of my elder brother, and sometimes elder brothers, they don't listen to younger brothers, right? They think that he is young. Ye kal ka bachcha hai. Sometimes junior devotees or younger brothers, they don't give so much attention. They think that what he knows actually. I know better. I am senior or I am elder, right? It happens. And we just neglect the good advice. And same thing happened to Vidura also. He understood that now he is not able to change. Dhritarashtra is in his own world. He has allowed me to a certain level to come nearer to him, but he is not allowing me to come into his inner chambers, where he can listen to his advice, where he can have heart-to-heart talks, and he changes his attitude. He is not allowing me. He understood that there is a huge barrier between Dhritarashtra and myself. Communication problem. We try to communicate with some people, but so many times we try to tell, but person doesn't change at all, right? Do you feel? I mean, have you got experience? Sometimes some certain instructions are given, but person listens once. It comes from one ear and it goes from another ear, right? एक कान से आता है और दूसरे कान से निकल जाता है. सुना लेकिन नहीं सुना. Hearing but not hearing. So many times good instructions are given, but we just make a blind ear. We just don't listen to those good instructions. And then we lose the opportunity. So therefore, Krishna consciousness, if you have to go deeper, that means we need to develop attentive hearing. The more we attentively hear, we try to imbibe the instructions, then we will understand, yeah, there is something, the message is for me. I need to change. There is something which I can improve. Not try to prove myself, but it is a message to improve myself. Otherwise we will try to prove that no, I am not wrong, I am the right person. But we had to improve after hearing. So therefore he understood, Vidura understood that he cannot improve Dhritarashtra. Because he is trying to prove himself, and I am better, I know better than you. So he could not change the attitude of Dhritarashtra. And another occasion when he was called, and he was trying to give that advice to Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra. At that time, Duryodhana was there in front of him. Now Duryodhana is, who is Duryodhana related to Vidura? How is related? He was Chacha. Vidura was Chacha. Right? He was his nephew. Duryodhana was his nephew. Yani, younger. He is younger. But he becomes angry. Now Duryodhana becomes angry. And he insults his Chacha, Vidura, uncle. One should not insult elderly people, right? We should respect elderly people. That is the etiquette. It's a basic etiquette. But he insults Vidura. He insults in such a way that Vidura becomes hurt, very badly hurt. He understands that now it is beyond repair. It is very difficult. I try to help Dhritarashtra. I am trying to give good advice. It is not working out. And in the between, I am getting all these insults and abuses and everything. And he understands that this is the divine energy of God. Without God intervention, nothing happens. If somebody is insulting me, there is some reason. And it is the power of material energy. He takes it in that way. He sees that external energy is acting on Duryodhana. He is not able to see his uncle giving good advice. He could not see. Although he was also hearing all the good instructions, but every time he was negative. नहीं सुनने का, हम नहीं सुधरेंगे, kind of attitude. Whatever you give, good instructions you give, I am not going to change. So what can we do? So Vidura understood that this is the energy of material energy which is acting on Duryodhana. He is not changing. In fact, it is increasing his bad qualities. It is explained that if you feed milk to snakes, what will happen? It will increase poison. You are feeding milk to the snake. But what snake does? Snake takes that milk and turns into poison. Right? Milk is good for our health. It will nourish our body. But when it is fed to snake, person is having that kind of negative attitude, whatever good instructions you may give, it will be turned into poison. So Vidura understood that this is happening here. That everything, whatever I am giving, trying to help, is not working. And he is fighting for getting power, position, which is ultimately temporary. he was trying to convince them that you are trying to fight for something which is temporary. You should fight for eternal. They were fighting for power. And Vidura was trying to explain them to become attached to the powerful. Who is a powerful person? Who is a powerful person? Yes, Krishna. Krishna was on other side, right? So he was attached to Krishna, powerful. He was telling that here, just accept the advice of Krishna, Yudhishthir. You get attached to powerful, you will get power also. But you are just attached to power and you are neglecting powerful, then you are going to lose your power also. Vidura could see that. But when somebody is influenced by material energy, one cannot see what is correct, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad. One doesn't see. Therefore, we need proper guidance. So when this thing happened, then when Vidura was inserted, then he understood, now it is my time is up. I had to give up this place. Because my advice is not heard here, I had to leave this place. It was a big palace. He had served in that palace for many, many years. Throughout his life he had served. He was very loyal, he was very faithful. And still he was misunderstood. Now he understood that now I had to give up. Now I had to go out of this place. Because it is not working out. And it is also said that a saint is not known in his town. Saint is not known in his town. A saint is in a town, he has grown up there, he has become saintly and trying to give good advice. People don't listen. They think that ये तो हमने देखा है इसको कल दौड़ता था इधर बच्चा था. Now he has become a saint. He has changed internally. His internal consciousness has elevated. So therefore a saint has to go to another town where he is accepted, where his voice is heard. So Vidura understood, now time is up, I have to go now. And he took it as Krishna's arrangement. He didn't blame Dhritarashtra or Vidura that they are the cause. This is because of them, my voice is not heard. He understood that, okay, now let it be, whatever. Now my time is up. I tried my best, I did my duty, I had to go. And he started traveling. He took that opportunity to go more deeper in his own consciousness. He understood that maybe God wants me to come out of all this mess, all this Hastinapur politics. I should not be involved. And they are going to fight. They are not just going to listen to me. They will kill each other. And he didn't want to become part of that entire thing. He understood that let me just first protect myself. Let me just go out of this place first. Let me elevate my consciousness. Let me go more deeper in my own thought processes. Let me try to understand if there is some higher truth behind this. And he took that opportunity to go to various holy places. Which are the holy places he visited? Yes? Dwarka, yeah. Puri also he went. Okay. Let us assume that he went, because we don't know how many. Vrindavan, okay. Badrikashram, yeah. And which other places which are mentioned? In this verse, there is one place mentioned. Prabhashetra, Ayodhya, Barka, right? various places he was just visiting. These holy places are, Srila Prabhupada explains that, quite powerful places. Ayodhya, when he went to Ayodhya, Ayodhya is, who was born there? Lord Ram. And the word Ayodhya itself has tremendous meaning. Ayodhya means there is no war. Ayodhya, where there was not any war any time. So that is a place where Lord Ram was born. He was so powerful, he was so virtuous. He didn't want any war to happen there. And when he went there, he meditated on all those pastimes of Lord Ram. That how even Lord Ram was banished from his own kingdom, Ayodhya, where there is not supposed to be war. He was banished into forest. It happened in Ayodhya, right? And it was again the self-interest of whom? Kaikai. She wanted my son to become the king, not Kausalya's son. My son, not her son. They're all same children, 3 mothers, 4 children. But still mine is important, my son is important. It happened. It's such a small thing, but we can understand that how powerful it was. That a small thing can become so powerful. That Lord Ram was banished for 14 years. Not just 1 or 2 years, but 14 years. As an ascetic he was wandering. Vidura, he remembered all those things and he was thinking that just even Lord Ram was banished. How Lord Ram tolerated all those things. He didn't blame Kaikai, he didn't blame anybody, he just accepted and went. So Vidura was meditating on all those things happened in Ayodhya. And he was getting more spiritually stronger. He understood that I need to tolerate. I need to tolerate all these insults. I need to forgive everyone. I should not keep any kind of negativity towards everyone. Because that negativity will affect me more. If I keep any negativity towards other person, that negativity will affect me more. It is explained that it is like holding a burning charcoal in our hand to throw at somebody. The negativities or the vengeance one keeps about others in the heart, it is like a burning charcoal we are holding within our hand. The more we hold, it will burn us more. Better to throw it out. So therefore all the negativities, vengeance and wrong thoughts about others have to be given up altogether. And one has to develop positive attitude by becoming more deeper in our own consciousness, by understanding that the soul cannot be harmed by anyone. Nainam chandati shasrani, nainam dhati pavaka, naichanam kledyankapa, no shoshati maruta. Soul by nature cannot be harmed by anyone, cannot be burned by fire, cannot be cut by any weapons, not dried by the air. Soul is completely above all these material changes. So therefore we are the souls, and therefore one has to realize that how powerful that soul can be. When somebody becomes more focused within, then all the external situations cannot affect. And therefore the more one goes more deeper in one's own devotional service, one will become very, very powerful and very, very determined in his own Krishna consciousness. One will not blame others. That this is because of him or her I am not able to chant properly or perform my services properly. Those thoughts will not come. One will think that it is my own limitations, that I don't have taste for chanting the holy name, or I am not able to do proper services. I don't have attachment to service of the Lord. So Vidura, when he was on the pilgrimage, he was going to various holy places and he was absorbing the mood of holy places. It is not just by visiting the holy places one will get purified. One will get purified definitely. There will be some benefit visiting holy places. But what is the more greater benefit of visiting the holy places is absorbing the mood of holy places. And who gives the mood of holy places? Those who have absorbed the mood of holy places, they only can give the message of the holy place. So those saints and sages, those who stay in the holy places, those who have absorbed that mood of holy places, when we hear from them, then we understand, yes, this is the real purpose of visiting the holy places. This is the real purpose of my life. This way I need to elevate my consciousness. It is not just traveling to, okay, this year Vrindavan, next year Mayapur, Jagannath Puri, and I have got lot of credits every time. And again we come back to city and again we commit sins. That is not the right attitude. It will be like a elephant's bath. Elephant takes bath in the river or lake. It becomes clean, and when it comes out, it sees the dirt and again it splashes dirt all over the body, just like powder. Right? After taking bath, we put powder on the body. What is the use? We took bath to become clean, so again put. So it's a very contrast in the today's cosmetic industry. Complete contrast. So therefore, we should know that if we have to become clean, then we should take the bath. And if we have to become internally clean, then we have to give up all the bad tendencies, bad negativity, bad thinking process. So that is what scriptures, Bhagavad-gita, Bhagavatam tells us to elevate our consciousness. That is how one will get benefited by visiting the holy places. That is the greatest benefit. If we go to holy places, we hear from the great souls there. They will give some instructions and we follow those instructions throughout our life. Then one will become more elevated. One will get the result of the holy place. And Vidura was traveling to so many holy places and he was hearing from many saints. Many saints he was hearing. And here it is explained that he visited Prabhasa Kshetra. How many of you have visited Prabhasa Kshetra? Nobody? Acha, आपने visit किया. Where is Prabhas Kshetra, by the way? Somnath? Which state of Gujarat? Gujarat, yeah. So here Prabhas Kshetra is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, which is also like almost 5,000 years before. Okay. So Prabhas Kshetra was existing since that time. Okay, Somnath, Jyotirlinga or Shaktipeeth, various significance of Prabhas Kshetra. So these places have been existing since many years, thousands of years. And these places are very powerful. What happened at Prabhashetra? Anybody knows? Yes? Huh? Lord Shiva appeared for Chandra. There is some story for that also. Chandra, there are some stories there. And Lord Krishna said, what happened to Lord Krishna? What happened to Lord Krishna? Yes. Okay. Yeah, you are correct. There is one place called as something Bhalka Tirtha, I was reading, where the hunter, that Hajara hunter or somebody, who shot arrow to Lord Krishna at his toe, and something like Krishna walked for 4 kilometers, and some place is there, Utsarja, where Krishna gave up his body at Prabhashetra. So these are the two places there, and which is very close to the sea also, something. And here, when Vidura has travelled to this Prabhasa Kshetra, he has reached, on his journey, Vidura's journey for searching for the truth, he has now reached to Prabhasa Kshetra. And there he understood, he heard that there was a war between Kauravas and Pandavas. And Kauravas, they died. Yeah, he heard at this place, all 100 sons of Dhritarashtra, they died. And he understood, he heard from at this place that Yudhishthira is now the emperor of the entire world at this place. And he is ruling the kingdom. And of course it was not a very good news for him, because his consciousness had become very pure. He was very soft-hearted. He wanted the good for all the Kauravas also, but it didn't happen. And he wanted to understand more actually. He was still on his journey home kind of thing. He was moving forward to understand the truth. And as he proceeded further, he met whom he met? Yes, Uddhava. He met Uddhava. Uddhava was how he was related to Uddhava? Navy, some kind of Navy. Yeah, he was like uncle to Uddhava. So Uddhava was very close to Krishna. Okay, Krishna's cousin brother. And where they met, anybody knows? Where they met? On the banks of Yamuna, near the banks of Yamuna. And incidentally, Vidura is also Yamraj incarnated. It's very kind of esoteric or allegorical, some kind of thing. That today is also Bhau Beach. Anybody knows? Significance of Bhau Beach is Yamraj meets Yamuna. Right? Yamraj goes to Yamuna and Yamuna worships him and all. And he gives blessings, some kind of thing. Anybody who worships their brother, then they will get prosperity and many things, kind of things. So here, Vidura, who is also Yamraj incarnated actually, he was cursed to become a son of a Shudrani. And he is on the bank of Yamuna He has reached to Yamuna, where he meets Uddhava and where they are discussing Krishna Katha. Soul-searching talks, trying to elevate their consciousness. Vidura is trying to inquire from Uddhava, what is the news actually, how is Krishna Balaram, how is Vasudeva and other Pradyumna and Kunti, everyone he was trying to inquire, because Vidura was traveling for many years, perhaps many decades he was traveling. He was traveling for many decades he was traveling, and he had become quite old. He was already like uncle and grandfather and quite old. And at that time he had left his palace and he was wandering like a mendicant. And he was going to various holy places, living like a very simple sadhu. But he was in search of the truth. He was trying to go deeper and understand. And Uddhava, when he meets, he understands that Uddhava was in a very elevated stage of consciousness. And he tries to inquire from Uddhava. But Uddhava was so much absorbed in Krishna's thoughts. At first he could not reply anything to Vidura. Because he was so much into pain of separation from Krishna. He could not even speak to Vidura properly. He kept thinking about Krishna. And then later on he understood that I had to talk to Vidura, I had to guide him. He is inquiring about Krishna, now let me talk about Krishna. So he started talking about Krishna and he started telling about Krishna's childhood pastimes, Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes. And then later Uddhava told that now I cannot tell you anything further because I am feeling too much separation from Krishna. I had to go to Badrikashram, I had to go. But you meet whom he should meet? Maitreya Muni. Why he should meet Maitreya Muni? He will instruct him. And why he will instruct him? Because he was also present. When Krishna was talking to Uddhava, some other Maitreya Muni also had come that time. And Maitreya Muni also heard what Krishna was speaking. Maitreya Muni also, there is another line of disciplic succession where it is explained that when Sanat Kumaras, 4 Kumaras, they were curious to know about Lord, they were trying to understand. They went to, where they went? At the bottom of the universe they went. And there they saw Sankarshan, Lord Sankarshan, 1,000-headed hood Sankarshan. And they were trying to inquire from him about the Supreme Absolute Truth and higher truths. And Sankarshana told to Sanat Kumar. Sanat Kumaras, then they tell to, later on to another Rishi, Sankhayan Rishi, somebody named. Sankhayan Rishi tells later to Parashar Muni and Brahaspati. They are like the two together. Brahaspati is a teacher of demigods and all. And then Parashar Muni tells to later to Maitreya Muni. And Maitreya Muni is now telling to Vidura. So Vidura is receiving that knowledge in that parampara also. And Maitreya Vidura Samvad, that is a big philosophical conversation between Vidura and Maitreya. It is a part of 3rd canto and 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is very, very philosophical, very deep, very, very spiritually enriching. If we hear those, maybe we will become self-realized, because that kind of impact it had on Vidura. That conversation between Maitreya Muni and Vidura is very, very deep and very, very powerful actually. So therefore, when Vidura he visits all these holy places, he is later meeting to Maitreya Muni. And then later he comes back to again Hastinapur. Okay. And Vidura, when he is visiting the holy places, he is observing all the mood of holy places. And when he comes back to Hastinapur, he wanted to give instructions. He knew that his elder brother is still there. And he was attached to his elder brother also, Dhritarashtra. And he wanted to, even at that stage he was thinking that now at least let me try to give him good instructions. And out of compassion, he again comes back to Hastinapur. And at that time, Yudhishthir Maharaj welcomes him. How he welcomes him? He tells him that you are holy places personified. Tirthi kurvanti tirthani. You purify the holy places. You are holy place. Tirtha bhuta swayam vibho. You have become holy place. Visiting all holy places, he became so much purified that he became holy place personified. Holy place is not just some tract of land where deity worship is happening or there are sadhus and saints and some nice social activities going on. But Yudhishthira receives Vidura in that consciousness that you are holy places personified. You make the holy places more pure. Because you carry the Lord within your heart. That is the power of pure devotee. And we can see that Srila Prabhupada, how he was also staying in Vrindavan. For many years before going to US, he was in Vrindavan. And he observed the mood of Vrindavan. Okay. And he left Vrindavan. He started traveling to so many places where there is no faith in God. People don't believe in God. At such places he started traveling. What was the purpose of traveling? To give message of Krishna consciousness. He was not traveling for his name and fame. He was feeling so much compassionate that these people are suffering. They have forgotten Krishna. Krishna is within our heart. If we practice Krishna consciousness, perfect our life within human form of life is so rare. If we practice it sincerely, we will achieve perfection of life and we will go eternally to spiritual world, not to come back again in this material world. That is the purpose of human form of life. But Maya Mugdha Jeev nahi swata Krishna Gyan. Chiver Krupa Kele Krishna Veda Puran. Maya Mukta Jeev. The living entity has become absorbed in material energy. He is so much absorbed, material energy. Every time, whatever related to the material things and gadgets and everything, he is absorbed into that. Nahi Sada Krishna. He has forgotten about his own self, who we are. We don't know who we are. We don't know. We have forgotten our identity. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam tells us to understand ourselves. If we understand our own self, then we will not suffer. We will not have any lamentation, fear, anxiety, stress, depression. All these modern problems will not happen if we simply understand our own self. The self is so powerful. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada wanted to give that message, and he traveled to all these places. And he created holy places. He created holy places in the form of his temples. Okay, temples are, Srila Prabhupada mentions that temples are in Vaikuntha Loka, right? As soon as you come to ISKCON temple, Hare Krishna temple, you feel there is no anxiety, right? At least here I'll get some prasad. Right? Devotees, we are all hungry now. We should take prasad. So that is the purpose of temple. Srila Prabhupada said that I have made this temple, I have built this temple where there should be profuse distribution of prasadam. Devotees should get sufficient prasadam. There should be loving exchanges between devotees. There should not be any anxiety. One should feel that let me serve here. Come again and again, try to serve as much as possible. Srila Prabhupada created these holy places so many all over the world. He empowered his devotees, those who are moving holy places, those who are going to various places, remote places where there is no Krishna consciousness. They are taking difficulties and they are going everywhere to give the message of Krishna consciousness. They are moving holy places. And another holy place is Srimad Bhagavatam. He gave Srimad Bhagavatam, which is Grantha-avatar, which is a book form of the holy place. When we take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, then it is as good as we are taking shelter of the holy place. It is the avatar of God, Krishna. So therefore, this is the power of Srimad Bhagavatam, that it helps us to go more deeper and connect ourselves to Lord Krishna. And of course, Srila Prabhupada gave the simple method of chanting. Chanting, if we do that, then all the essence of the Vedas, scriptures are included in the chanting of the Buddha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna. So now we'll have Kirtan and then Krishna Prasad. Okay. Hare Krishna. Nantara Srimad. Anybody doing Kirtan? Krishna Das?